So we're out here in the garage today because we're going to do this table project. So this table that's sitting back here, you might see it back in there, we purchased used online. We knew the top was a little bit messed up. So what we really liked about it though was the legs and the frame. And so we wanted to use the legs and the frame for the look that it had and then redo the top with some different things. So we're going to work on that today, but first we have to kind of clean and organize this stuff and get it cleared off because we've had this for a while. This project's been sitting in the making, so today I'm going to work on that. I'm going to take you through how we make this top, so here we go. So today we're basically using 2x6 pine lumber like you would find at any home improvement. We're using this Craig jig to pre-drill the holes, which gives you a nice pocket to use these screws that we're using, which is the Craig 2.5-inch screw. And we're just basically pre-drilling all those holes here, getting these set up and ready to go. Once you've got all the holes drilled and you're ready to put some glue between each board, we're going to use these 2.5-inch Craig screws with this special driver. Lets you get deep down into the notch at an angle to be able to drive those screws in there. Notice we've got them going both directions from different sides. We'll line them up. We're going to clean all this off first though, and so we can kind of get things leveled up. So we've kind of finished up for what we can do today because we really need the glue that we put between these joints to dry because we've pulled them together and taken the warp out of a lot of these boards. If you can see them down here, we've got clamps down here on them. So we're gonna let this glue set up for 24 hours and kind of pull everything together. The screws, I'm afraid, will pull out if we're not careful. So we wanna make sure that those are set up before we take the clamps off. So we're gonna let this set 24 hours and then come back tomorrow and work on it again. Well, good morning. It's morning day 2. We let this tabletop set up, the glue set overnight. So today we're going to work on the end boards, called the lap boards, I think is the term maybe. And we're gonna do some sanding and maybe be able to get started on some staining. We'll see how it goes today, but I wanna show you what we're gonna be doing today. What we're going to do today is we're going to put a board on the end here, so we've got to drill some pocket holes through here. Don't know if this is coming through or not, to attach the board to the end. So we're going to be putting some more pocket holes like that. So we've sanded everything down to 220 grit, which is pretty smooth. We're going to leave this rough look, of course, because it's going to be distressed, but here's kind of what we're at. We're in the garage now, so. So these are some of the stain colors that we looked at. Kind of more of a reddish color. This is more kind of a golden color. This is actually called golden oak, and this is what my wife has decided that she likes. So we're going to go with that just on this test board, something light. So we've sanded this down. Now we're going to wipe it off with some paint thinner just to kind of clean all the dust off of it, get ready to put some stain on. We're going to be using this golden oak stain. We're just going to brush it on with a foamy brush. Looks like this. I like these. I think they're easy, they're disposable. Get it on there smooth. We're just going to brush it on, let it set for a little bit, then wipe it off with a clean rag. So here's the look we've got now. It's got kind of a white, faded look a little bit. So now we're going to put one more coat of stain over the top of that and see how that comes up. So that's what it looks like after a second coat of stain on top of the whitewash. It does give it kind of an old look, lightens it up a little bit. So we're back out in the garage today. Last night the stain all dried really well. You want to wait at least 24 to 48 hours. I'm going to wait about 24 hours before we put some finish on it. We're going to do a satin-based polyurethane to finish this off, but here's what it looks like. So once everything dries, this is kind of what it looks like. And what you want to do is take some sandpaper and kind of make some light areas around it in different places to give it some character. It's also a time where you can do some distressing if you want to add additional distress to it. It's really up to you what you want to do to try to make it look older, more antique, rough it up if you want to, but I'm going to go with it like it is. We're going to get going on this polyurethane, get our first coat on. Probably going to do 3 coats total. Coat number 3 starting to dry. Looking good. Each coat seems to make it just look a little deeper, even though that's a satin finish. It's wet right now, but when it dries, it is a satin finish. It's coming. So this is the old top that we took off from the base. We just took the base, measured it out, flipped the table upside down. You can see there are screw holes here. We cut it in the middle, shortened the width, glued these blocks to it, which is the piece we cut out. We're going to use that glued together to be the screw hole. We'll just touch up, paint that. No one's going to see that underneath the table anyhow. It doesn't slide or have a leaf. It's just one fixed length. So there it is upside down, almost a finished project. So there it is with the legs. Dark colored legs on it. We got some touch up to do where those blocks are at, but I think that's going to be fine. Yeah, looks pretty good.